Ladies and gentlemen, Minneapolis City Council members will be dismantling the Minneapolis Police Department. So this came out June 5th, 2020. The man that you see in this picture is actually Keith Ellison's son. His name is Jeremiah Ellison, and he is on Minneapolis City Council. And they said they hear the public and they see that the only thing they need to do is disband the current police force in Minneapolis and replace them with all new cops. I think that's a good thing to do because it's going to be hard when you have police reform, which a lot of people want, and keep the same cops in place that are really the root cause of all of the corruption that's going on. And not only that, some of these cops may not want that change and will still come out here and try to unleash on the public, which they should absolutely not do. But see, your corrupt cop would be out here trying to do it anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bring Me Minneapolis, the news. There are growing calls within city leadership to disband the current police force. So it's not only these council members, but a lot of the citizens within Minneapolis are also calling for this change. Okay, members of Minneapolis City Council are adding fuel to the growing calls for disbanding the Minneapolis Police Department in wake of George Floyd's killing. There have been rumblings in recent days of looking for alternative approaches to law enforcement and crime prevention in Minneapolis as trust in police department continues to plummet after the 46-year-old's death. Now, I know when I was telling y'all about a town here in my state that had to dismantle their police department and they brought in all new people. What they do generally, ladies and gentlemen, whenever there's a problematic police department, what they will do is go to the neighboring town police department, and those police departments will patrol until you have your cops up and running. So they'll patrol their town plus the neighboring town until everything is back up and running and the new cops are able to take over and not need any assistance from other townships. Okay. There have been rumblings in recent days of looking for alternative approaches to law enforcement and crime prevention in Minneapolis as trust in the police department continues to plummet. The chief among those calling for change is North Side Council member Jeremiah Ellison, who on Thursday tweeted, "We are going to dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department. And when we're done, we're not simply going to glue it back together," he added. "We are going to dramatically rethink how we approach public safety and emergency response. It is really past due." Ellison, the 5th Ward Council member, who is the son of Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison and Minnesota Public School Board Chair Kim Ellison, is not alone in expressing a desire to bring an end to MPD in its current form. Council President Lisa Bender backed Ellison's call, tweeting, "Yes, we are going to dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department and replace it with a transformative new model of public safety." Earlier on Thursday, she noted how she has long supported moving money from MPD to community strategies. And that's another thing I have seen in the recent days, how a lot of folks are calling for a police department that has a high number of abuse and killings among the citizens to be defunded. Okay. Furthermore, she says the council moves towards transforming law enforcement in the city, and she calls on the city's white community to stand up. If you are a comfortable white person asking to dismantle the police, I invite you to reflect. Are you willing to stick with it? Will you be calling in 3 months to ask about garage break ins? Are you willing to dismantle white supremacy in all systems, including a new system? I mean this quite sincerely and seriously. Just look at recent conversations about city funded neighborhood organizations to understand explicitly we would have to work to establish alternative systems that would not replicate the same problems. White people need to show up for this. The council has proved to be a check on Mayor Jacob Fry's effort to increase policing in recent years, and the killing of Floyd has seen them become more and more vocal about calls for change. Ward 3 member Steve Fletcher earlier this week accused MPD of reducing response time to his ward because he had voted for budget cuts for the department. He said the continued presence of Minneapolis Police Federation President Bob Kroll showed that MPD is irredeemably beyond reform. So, yeah, I agree with them. Sometimes cops are so corrupt, you can't introduce any reforms for them that they will follow. They're so jacked up in the head, they're going to still try to do things that they did before. So, I agree. When you're going to reform, bring in all new cops to eliminate a lot of the corruption going on. It must be done. Some of these cops should have been kicked off of the force years ago, especially when you look at somebody's record like Derek Chauvin. He has been problematic since he's been on the police force all that time, but he was able to exist in a police culture with no problem. And that should never have been the case. 4 people dead by one cop and 18 complaints against him. That is outrageous for you to even keep somebody like that on your police force. But y'all, please tell me what you think about these new revelations coming out of Minneapolis. This definitely should be duplicated all over the country. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.